You can't focus. You can't sometimes focus because there's so much going on in your life and in the globe. What can you do if you're always sidetracked when you sit down at your desk? How can you regain your attention and productivity? The majority of people suffer from being distracted and unproductive, especially when most of us are continually interrupted by news alerts, text messages, and other forms of communication. Even when you're feeling very productive, you have to deal with what's going on with your coworkers. First, you must comprehend the pitfalls of multitasking. Begin by recognizing the effect distractions. Focus is controlled by a network of brain structures. The default mode is in charge of reflecting on oneself and others and addressing the past, forecasting, or planning the future. At least half of the time, we're in this mode. However, when you need to concentrate, you use the direct attention network, which allows you to ignore ruminations and stay on target. In whatever form they take, distractions force you back into the default mode, and restoring your focus comes at a hefty cognitive cost. Then allow for your emotional reaction while being in control. Feeling overwhelmed can trigger a slew of negative feelings, including irritation, anger, and worry, all of which can wreak havoc on your productivity. As a result, you must break the cycle. Label your feelings and ask yourself questions about them to regain a sense of agency, so you don't feel at the mercy of the events that happen. Okay, I'm angry. You might respond, but who's in charge? The anger or me experiencing the emotion? You want to accept that these feelings exist, but not be overwhelmed by them. Now gather your attention. Take stock of the situation and be aware of being triggered if you are distracted. Then change the focus of your attention. This may seem easier said than done, but keep in mind that most of our concerns are not imminent existential dangers. Focus the rational part of your brain on something more immediate or visceral, like your breath, to reconnect with it. I'm obsessed with this social media, you might think. I'm going to focus on my breath to get my attention away from what's causing me fear. It's like the same as trying to ignore the annoyance. Don't suppress or stifle it. Make a mental note, acknowledge it, and put it in a mental parking lot to think about it later. Then focus your energy on your values. You can select where to focus your attention once you've gathered it. You feel more in control if you focus on your values. When you're overwhelmed, it can make you feel like you've lost a lot of power and options. You may, however, choose who you want to be. Focus on being collaborative, if that's one of your core principles. What can you do to make people feel part of the team? Lack of focus affects your self-esteem. How fair is it to your team or family if you spend 3 hours a day on social media? Consider this for a moment. Also, don't forget to set limits. Set rules for yourself once you become more aware of what distracts you. If you notice that checking the news first thing in the morning makes you irritable and inattentive when you go to work, promise yourself that you won't recheck the news until midday. You can also determine to do a particular amount of work before social media. If you lack the self-control to do so, there are apps that you can put in your browsers or on your phone to limit how much time you spend on specific websites. It also takes time and effort. The distinction between elite and non-elite concentration is conscious concentration. Athletes who practice declaring to themselves, "I'm not leaving the free throw line until I make 10 free throws," should be remembered. So devote some time to teaching your brain how to stay focused. Don't forget to choose who to interact with wisely. In actuality, sociality and hence people around us strongly influences us. We've all had the experience of entering into an elevator and seeing everyone gazing at their phones, so we start glancing at ours as well. Consider this: if the person sitting next to you on a flight buys a piece of candy, you're 30% more likely to purchase something similar. The same is true in terms of production. Spending less time with folks who are constantly distracting you or pulling you away from work is a good idea. You don't have to be nasty. All you have to do is set boundaries in these situations. Giving and getting assistance from your team and coworkers is another significant problem. Rather than avoiding your inattentive coworkers, attempt to motivate one another to stay focused. Make an agreement with your teammates. Set up a time when you won't be interrupted or distracted by social media. Your team is right there with you in the trenches, and you can relate to them because you share the same culture and organization. You're on the same page. Face your employees and ask for their opinions, suggestions, and guidance. You might discover that other strategies you haven't considered worked for them. Make a promise that you will improve your behavior and check in on each other's progress regularly. When you tell someone else that you want to change, they are more likely to follow your lead. After that, take care of your body. You're more likely to feel overwhelmed if you're tired or exhausted. It is critical to receive adequate sleep and exercise. Also, make small changes in your environment that will improve your well-being. Take breaks, eat a healthy lunch, put your phone on silent. If you usually spend your lunch hour on social media, leave your phone behind. Go outside for a walk or a sporting activity. Never ignore the necessity of maintaining your health and well-being. Break the immediate cycle of worry and irritation caused by being distracted by breathing. Consider how you want to be perceived as a leader and let that image guide your actions. Set limits on how much time you spend on social media and checking your email. Distractions have substantial cognitive costs, so don't fool yourself into thinking they're not destructive to your focus. Spending time with folks who are easily distracted will make you feel the same way. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Take pauses, eat well, and get enough sleep. Never lose sight of the significance of staying focused. Give your business the attention and seriousness it deserves, and you'll be successful. Forget about everything else until you have enough money. Assist the members of your team in achieving their objectives. Attend your team leaders' training rooms regularly to continue your personal and professional development. This will boost your reputation with others and, more significantly, your own credibility. You must first grow yourself if you want your team to succeed. After all, how can you expect others to believe in what you're doing if you don't believe in it? Learn the fundamentals of becoming a professional, including how to present your company clearly and concisely. You'll need someone to lead you on this voyage, someone who knows where you're going, so summon all your humility and invite them along. You can't listen to too many individuals at the same time, or you'll become overwhelmed and confused. Always keep in mind why you established this company. This will help you maintain your concentration at the top. Attend all meetings, live events, conferences, presentation conferences, and online training consistently. Keep in mind that you are the leader of this group. Always keep a positive attitude, and remember that everything gets passed on to your staff. Proper duplication is one of the secrets to success in our profession. Begin creating your company like a maniac. Only your level of belief and everyday action will determine the outcome and speed of your success. Stay laser focused and work with the system you've put in place. You won't find the magic wand if you look for it. Join the group and stroll with them. The route has already been established. You have to duplicate it now. In the end, you're striving for independence. If you're unhappy with your current situation, learn more about it by meeting some of your top leaders and understanding why they're there. You may find that this information is all you require to remain in your current location. All you need is the foresight to stick with it for the long haul. Start writing everything down, even if you're not used to it. What are your goals? What are things that distract you? And what are things that help you focus and retain your attention instead? Write it all down and plan. You can do almost anything. The key is to believe in it.